Late last month, Joe Jackson passed away at age 89 after a battle with cancer. In a new video that is making the rounds, the late Michael Jackson's disgraced former doctor, Conrad Murray, has very harsh words for the late manager. Among other things, Murray claims that Joe had Michael chemically castrated to preserve his voice through puberty. Joe Jackson was one of the worst fathers to his children in history, Murray claims in the video. That's a very tall order. Though one supported by statements from Michael Jackson and some of his siblings over the years. We'll get into that in a moment. The cruelty expressed by Michael that he experienced at the hand of his father. Murray says, trailing off. Once you've heard someone tell you a story of how they were abused, it can haunt you, even after both the victim and the alleged abuser have passed away. Particularly his bad treatment, and moreover, Murray says, preparing to make his explosive claim. The fact that he was chemically castrated to maintain his high-pitched voice is beyond words. If true, that is certainly beyond words. Murray has made this chemical castration claim before. Specifically, he wrote in his book that Joe forced Michael, at the age of 12, to receive hormone injections to put an end to his acne and to prevent his voice from changing. I knew and cared for Michael very well, Murray asserts. Murray continues, and he told me of the many sufferings at the hands of his father that he experienced. It was dreadful, Murray says. Beyond imagination and words. Joe Jackson and Michael Jackson. There are some people who believe that, no matter the man's deeds in life, it is wrong to speak ill of the dead. Murray is clearly not one of those people. I would not shed a single tear over the passing of this cruel and evil man, Murray announces. Joe Jackson, he continues, addressing the late manager. It is said that only the good die young. Joe Jackson was 89 at the time of his passing. Murray then declares, I hope Joe Jackson finds redemption in hell. Those are certainly some strong words, and Joe Jackson is not alive to defend himself. It should be noted, though, that there's more than just Murray's word for some of this. Michael Jackson spoke on Oprah, first back in the early 1990s, with stories of horrifying abuse endured at the hands of his father, who also worked as his manager. He described emotional abuse, incessant rehearsals, as well as physical violence. Specifically, Michael said that Joe would sit holding a belt during his children's rehearsals, and he would tear you up if you made an error. Joe Jackson even admitted to having used violence on his children, including the use of switches and belts, but objected to the characterization of these incidents of abuse as beatings. Notably, many accused of abuse may happily admit to evil deeds, but dislike the use of certain words to describe them. But while Murray's claims about Joe Jackson's behavior as a father and manager are backed up by Michael's own words in interviews, the claims about chemical castration are another matter. Additionally, many would question Murray's credibility, given that a lot of people still believe that he is at least partially responsible for Michael Jackson's 2009 death. Regardless of what one thinks about Murray or Joe, however, it seems safe to say that his grandchildren knew a different man than the one described by Murray and Michael. Paris Jackson mourned Joe in a heartfelt farewell message describing his final moments, including her exacting a promise that he would visit her as a spirit. Not everyone believes that the dead can visit the living, and even some who do believe that a person's evil deeds might prevent them from doing so. Prince Jackson also penned a tribute to his late grandfather, defending Joe against allegations of abuse. Promising to make a video on the subject, Prince says, he raised these kids right. It sounds safe to say that Prince's relationship with Joe was very different than his father's, though even Michael eventually seemed to forgive Joe. Regardless of what fans think about Joe's actions in life, we would strongly discourage anyone from writing hurtful messages to his grandchildren about his behavior. His grandchildren are innocent, and upsetting them is not going to give you the sense of vindication that you seek.